Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast, where today we are covering WCW Saturday Night on TBS from June the 29th, 1991. I am sitting here with Doc, but before I throw it to him, I want to give a special shout out to our largest page contributors monthly, Disrespectfully Classy, Marquis Blassie, Mike Childry, Joe Ice, and good old Justin for their generous support. And Doc, before I throw it to you, and let me get this out the way because there's quite a few. It's been like 3 weeks since we actually last recorded an episode together. Almost, not quite, but close. So we haven't spoken pretty much in several weeks in terms of the show goes. That said, I have some shout outs to the new or returning patrons that would have either come aboard or joined within the last 3 weeks. Again, these are new or returning ones. Michael C., new patron. Manny R., new annual patron. Reese B., new Hall of Fame patron. Scott F., existing patron, bumped up to annual and joined the Hall of Fame. Kendall B. is now a Hall of Fame patron, and he went to annual. Chris W., Alex J., JD, new annual patron. Juan S., new annual patron. Rob M., bumped up, and longtime listener and returning patron JBL Objective on Twitter. And I had to get that out the way, Doc, because I don't know how many flips and dives we're going to have. And also, I was trying to stall to see if Harper would join since he said he would be here, and we're already recording late anyway. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm doing great, but I think I speak for the entire internet wrestling community when I ask this question. It's the question that everybody wants to know that only you can answer, is when is that next Mid-South review show coming out?
Jesus Christ.
That bad, huh?
No, I just I just don't know why you would ask me that, but okay.
Well, I got a lot of messages.
My response right there will get spun 9 mil. I know how celebrities feel now. We'll get spun 9 million ways to Sunday.
Oh, shit. Celebrities. Now you're a celebrity. Now.
Hold on. You are too when I say that. That's not a one-way street. Trust me. There are things you say that I get feedback on, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Some of you people are mental.
I'm pretty sure it's most everything I say. But you can't believe any of that stuff, but I need everybody to believe what I'm about to say. When is the... Forget all that. Why you got to talk about old shit? Let's talk about something that's relevant. So when does this show come out? I'm confused.
This actual one we're recording right now, June 29, 1991.
No, when does this show come out in real time?
Okay. They all come out Thursday nights around 7 p.m. Central Time. This particular show will come out on December the 8th of 2022.
So Jesus' birthday month.
Why not?
Okay. Everybody gets one. Okay, so I want to go on record, and this needs a timestamp because it just does. So, earlier in this thing that we've been doing here, I said something like 16-1 Super Bowl. And it's funny and it makes y'all laugh, but I need to get serious for a second and tell you what's really going to happen. And that's 14-3 Super Bowl. Y'all see us? So that game on motherfucking Thanksgiving was the most watched regular season game in the history of the NFL.
A lot of people hate watching the Cowboys, man. I tell you.
Yeah.
That's what that was. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. The Giants fans can sit there and say, oh, yeah, it's because we're popular too. Look, I ain't trying to make PN News Jr. or T-Hog 94 out there mad. But at the end of the day, that's a lot of people home on Thanksgiving hate watching the Cowboys.
Just eating another piece of pumpkin pie with the crumbs all over their big fat gut.
That's
just
it.
Watching us roll the Giants once we decided to get into the game and play.
Bro, there's a bunch of Jim Cornettes, like when Corny's watching AEW. There's a bunch of Cornettes watching the Cowboys. They're the football version of Cornette because we know Corny's not a football fan, but that's exactly what happened. When I heard that statistic, I was like, that's a lot of people hate watching the Cowboys.
Now, are you okay? I felt like I needed to do a well check on you this past weekend because the Saints got shut out and LSU got knocked out of the playoff all in like a 24-hour period. Are you okay?
So let's talk about the Saints first. That mess was comical. And the thing about here's the difference between me and you.
You're learning about that red rifle. Y'all need to get crab legs up, bruh.
Here's the difference between me and you. I go into a season like this as Harper joins us with no expectations on the Saints. None. I didn't think for a second they were making the playoffs. It is what it is, right? Okay. You, on the other hand, it's Von Erich thing and Burger King thing when you lose or play a close game. As far as LSU goes, they already exceeded expectations. They were picked last in the West this year. Like that loss was comical. And the reason I say that is, and I apologize, Mark Wilson, because you're a good friend of mine, and Everett Starr as well, but they beat Alabama and Florida this year and Ole Miss. They won some games that, well, throw Ole Miss out of it. When you're LSU, you can damn near go 2-12 as long as you beat Alabama and Florida, and you're riding high. So, they're going to get – this will come out after the SEC title game. Georgia's going to stomp a mud hole in them most probably. And but other than that, I mean, it is what it is. Okay. Let's talk about the Tulane Green Wave, though, because them some bitches got 10 wins. Who? Goddamn, pal. I mean, if they did pull off the win on Georgia, they'll get a New Year's Six, but they're gonna end up in one of the second tier bowls.
The Cotton Bowl.
No, the Cotton Bowl's is a New Year's Six now, I believe. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes, so they'll get knocked down to one of the second tier. It won't be no New Orleans Bowl type bullshit. It'll be just one of the bowls under the New Year's Six. It's whatever, bro. I mean, like I said,
like the Gator Bowl or something.
Yeah, I mean, Capital One Bowl or some, one of them gimmicks or whatever. Dude, I can't even keep them all straight. I used to be able to recite all the bowls, but now that they all do the sponsor changes and, now it's the such and such Gator Bowl, it's the Camping World, whatever bowl. I can't keep track of them no more because of all the
We need to have the BTT Bowl.
That would be tremendous.
It'll be at Tad Gormley Stadium.
Tad Gormley, for real.
Yeah.
We'll pack that sucker out. That wouldn't be hard to do. But
we'll get a team to play that high school team that wasn't really a high school team.
Oh, Bishop Sycamore?
Sure.
Yeah.
Harper, how was your Thanksgiving festivities?
It was great. Good Thanksgiving. It was good.
Do you call it dressing or stuffing?
Stuffing.
Okay.
Because you actually stuff it.
Okay. And then, Mike, you didn't have to eat any jellied cranberry now, did you?
Jesus Christ.
No?
Bruh,
I love that shit.
We had a come to Jesus meeting at the household. And so I don't like it. My mother-in-law really don't like it. The oldest, he don't like it. Pop was guzzling that shit down like it was fifth of Thunderbird in 1975. So, and my brother-in-law don't like it. So, it's really only 3 people who like it. So, we kind of outnumbered.
Was he washing it down with a Cool?
No. Well, Winston 100s, remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the Cowboys had him on them Winston 100s on Thursday.
In the first half, they damn near had me on him.
Bro, you can tell that him being an older Cowboy fan and you, Doc, he don't even react no more. Touchdown, turnover, it's all the same. He just stares at the TV, just waiting on the next catastrophe.
Bro, I know the fucking feeling.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, he's like a stone statue. I
am mildly surprised every time we line up correctly without lining up off sides. I'm like, holy shit, we've been working on something all week. I have a question for you, Mike.
Oh, geez.
This is the rasslin question.
Uh-oh.
Who would you say in the history of wrestling you hated more? Tommy Rich or the Young Bucks?
I think the Bucks have surpassed him at this point.
Oh, why?
So, Tommy Rich, for all his flaws and snorting habits and being a drunkard in the ring and allegedly those things, for all of his flaws, he at least was a real professional wrestler.
Oh, come on.
Those two, I would take Tommy Rich drunk and high to whoop their asses inside of 5 minutes in a shoot fight at his current age now. And he looks like Throw Mama from the Train now. So,
oh, God.
What's that tell you? The Bucks are just go away. I never want to watch anything they're a part of. It's not worth my time. We got only so many, bro. I don't want to get sentimental, but we only got so many minutes and hours left. Now, Doc and I were having this discussion earlier. We hope to be built for 80 and 90, but at the same time, you got to be realistic. I don't want to waste minutes of my days watching those two buffoons.
Come on, those are some good Christian athletes.
And that's not me. I'm not look, before anybody takes it out of context, I'm not saying I want to fight them. Oh, I'll whip their butt. No, I'm simply saying if they're on a television, I don't want to see anything they're involved in.
Well, they're going to get their ratings back up.
Whatever,
Oh, wait, who?
The Young Bucks.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Come on. Well, they better. Fuck.
What is it? Corny says those motherfuckers couldn't draw money with a fucking box of green crayons.
I actually like the Ricky Morton line that I think he was wrong to say this about Kevin Nash, but he was like, couldn't draw flies in a shit factory. That one's better, but he was wrong to say that about Nash.
Well, I hope they have fun with their little E-Fed over in AEW, and I hope that MJF gets out of there as soon as he can.
I don't know why you're giving him a free plug right now by talking about him.
It's not a plug. Everybody knows.
Yeah, it is.
We're kicking him in the chin. Everybody out there's going, yeah, we hate it too.
No, it's a plug. It's just like it's a wrestling podcast. It's a northern version of Booking the Territory, just a little bit classy.
Right, that's a plug. You're plugging them. It's the same thing I tell you about Corny all the time. Look, love Corny to death. He's given us a platform, been on his show multiple times. He's talked about our show and his show. Here's the thing. For a product that he hates, he gives them a free friggin' 3-hour commercial, sometimes twice a week. It's like,
how much you think their ratings would go down if him and Brian Glass didn't review their product?
I don't know how to measure that. I really don't know how much they'd go down. But I think you can't argue the fact that he gives them a free commercial every week for hours. So, and look, there's a percentage of his audience that listens and will never watch AEW. They're just listening to hear Corny cut promos and rip on it because that's his game. That's what he does.
I'm in that group.
See, I can't do that. It's just like, I'm like Harper. I'll go to the YouTube and listen to when he's answering questions, talking about the old stuff.
A review of something that I don't look at or consume.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I just, it's like, I don't want to hear, because like I tried when he first started doing it, and it's just like he just kind of is repeating the same thing over and over, just a different person's match that he's talking about. What, so I mean, hey,
we're not going to start our own AEW review show.
No.
If that floats your boat, like if you listen to Corny or anybody else rip on that federation, like if you like that, more power to you. Doc's one of those people. Knock yourself out. It's not my ears needing to consume it. I'm just saying, for me personally, and Harper as well, it just, I can't do it. And he's giving him a free plug. So he's ripping this stuff apart, and he's basically giving him a free commercial. And people pay Corny big money for commercials. Big money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just
let's
like
send Tony Khan a bill and see if he pays it.
I don't wish not. This is the other thing. I'm glad you brought this up. I don't wish anything bad on them, like as a federation, because there's guys there that are good, and they wouldn't be able to earn a living as a professional wrestler without that promotion. But it's just not overall. 95% of it, as Harper said years ago when it first started, it's just not for me, bro. It's not for me.
Man.
I'm being so generous when I say that. It's just not for me. Like overall, it's not for me. I've had my times where I come in and out. I'll zip through it on the DVR. I don't want to consume that.
I just hope they don't screw shit up in a couple of years, and now there's the rise and fall of AEW fucking documentary.
Bruh, he ain't going to run out of money.
Right. That's the Doc said that. I don't see how he runs out of money.
Don't you think his dad will probably eventually get to a point where, hey, man, what the fuck you do? No?
They're trying to get these Jaguars into the playoffs. The other thing is that over in England, their English football team is starting to play better.
That's good.
Yeah.
Took long enough.
This little thing that dominates everybody's thoughts about the Bucks and Omega is a really small speck on the ass of their sports empire.
I guess.
I just hope they don't lose the fucking TV spot.
I don't think it matters. Those guys will still get paid on the roster. He's going to run.
I was wondering because I know that they got the NHL games now, and I know TBS and TNT have their own original programming, and I was curious, what's the ratings for that stuff compared to the AEW ratings?
What's the ratings for what stuff compared to AEW?
I think everybody should tweet Uncle Dave on Twitter and ask him.
No, because now they got the NHL games on there.
Oh, I got you.
I know they have their own TV shows on TBS and TNT, and I was curious, like, is the AEW's higher or lower or at the same as their other programs?
Yeah, Uncle Dave and the Mike Johnsons of the world, those dudes can get that information from you.
Because I look at it like this, but don't you, when you look at Impact, MLW, the NWA, they would cut their dicks off to be in the position that they're in. To be
in a position AEW's in.
Right, to be on a major cable channel twice a week and run shows in, legit buildings that hold 7,000 to 8,000 people once a week, and not in the whatever junior
Impact
college
zone.
gym. Right, it's some fucking junior college gym where they tape fucking 3 months worth of shit, and it's. And I just hope they don't screw it up.
No, Harper's absolutely right. Like those promotions would give their.
There's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with Harper. I don't wish bad on them. I'm just saying it's not for me. Like I like the fact that there's guys who can earn a living.
Right.
Like, sure. We've never
For
debated
real.
that.
But like
and,
Harper,
and
I can't.
much like WCW 89 and 90, there was a lot of talent on that roster.
Yeah.
No doubt. Lots of talent, man. Lots of talent. And, some of it's being wasted because.
Well, there you go. Hey, do you think that.
If you got Tom Brady, but you got him playing fucking running back, you know what I mean?
That's a mistake.
Like what it reminds me of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having Clayton Kershaw playing center field.
Shortstop.
Right. It's like, no, he's a pitcher.
Right. What are we doing here?
Right.
Well, on another topic, who saw Ricky Steamboat's last match?
I didn't see it.
I only saw a handful of clips of it.
Was that in a MLW show, or it was just?
No, I don't know what it was, but it wasn't them.
Okay.
I can't use any more proper nouns because there's no plugs that I can give.
Did you see it was at the Dorton Arena though?
Yeah. I was the attendance. I was curious.
Stupid.
Was it because I looked at building up? I think it held 5,000 people.
That's one of Crockett hotbed building.
And I was wondering if they had something close to that in there.
No way. So he hadn't wrestled. Hopefully, an ad won't play. I went to a website. I was trying to see the last time he wrestled.
It was
12 years ago.
It was that Jericho match, huh?
I don't even remember it.
At Mania?
So it was big time wrestling.
Don't give them a free plug.
Oh yeah, now you say that. It's I wasn't sure of the name of it, but I was trying to see the attendance for it. But dude, they didn't. I don't.
Right, yeah.
When they showed
with that.
Right, yeah, for real, huh?
For real.
They were hanging from the rafters because the rock and roll was there.
So man,
they had a line going up to fucking Pittsburgh.
The interstate out by the arena was jacked up for like 15 miles.
Right, it's still jacked up. They're still trying to get out the parking lot.
Dude, I've heard some wild.
They sent Bonnie Steamboat out to direct traffic.
You know what's funny is, think about what Harper said with the attendance. Man, I've literally seen wrestling promoters say, you ask one person, how many people y'all have? Oh, about 1,000.
300-400.
Yeah.
Else, 250. That's a wide range.
Dude, yeah, I've seen. Like, like it reminds me of, why, like when you go to like a convenience store or like a Taco Bell, they got that little strip down the door with the numbers. It's like a measurement thing for the height.
Yes.
That's why they had that, because you ask these people, how tall was he? He was 5'5", and then the guy's like 6'3". They're so stupid, and that's why they got that. So when the guy runs out the store, they can just look at the fucking line. They should have that for fucking wrestling attendants.
Life lessons with Hardbody Harper on how to tell actual attendance at a independent or even any wrestling show these days. Oh man, I just seen it so many times, man. I was like, you ask somebody, hey man, how many people you had there? And let me tell you something. Sometimes a picture doesn't tell the whole story.
Oh man, there's at least 750.
Yeah.
Well, let me give you a perfect example. Harper's going to know what I'm talking about. There was a Wildcat show many years ago where one of the lady wrestlers, German suplex, another one of the lady wrestlers on a chair. And the camera is shooting from the stage, which has like 75 people on it. But it's shooting towards a wall. Well, it's a middle school gymnasium. What you can't see is the bleachers on both sides, which were jam-packed. And there were a few seats on the floor up against the wall where the hard camera is facing towards. And it looks like there's 50 people there. But if you were there, because I was there sitting on that stage, there was like 700 people in the building that night. But you would never be able to tell from the bleachers. So I hate when people go, oh, look, it's empty in there. Look at that. Because you really sometimes can't tell. But the problem with independent wrestlers is they will say, or independent promoters, yeah, there's 250 in there. I mean, they will double and triple it like it's nothing. Like, dude, what are you on?
And like half of those people didn't even pay to walk in the door, so it don't fucking matter.
Shh, don't tell them that.
Bro, that's the other dirty side of it.
Fuck that.
Giveaways.
Are you that much of a mark for yourself?
Yeah, there was 500.
Yes, Harper, they are.
There were 500 people that paid and 75 girls I'm trying to fuck. That kind of
right,
thing.
Yeah.
That's nice. Grow up.
What? I mean, you got to admit that used to be a numbers game, man. You had to put it out there.
Jesus Lord.
Yeah. Well.
Doc, we got some 5-star reviews, man. Do you want to read yours first?
We sure do. I got one here from some. Now, this is going to be. It's a little old because we have been putting our recording out. Recording on different times to accommodate Mike's bullshit. So this is from November 19th.
You are an asshole.
What's wrong?
What?
Read the damn 5-star review.
No,
Dude.
you're like, let's get ahead so much that we never have to record again.
Oh, that's funny. Now that is hilarious.
So just know that if you send it in sooner or later, and with those Canadian reviews that we found, sometimes even years later, we will read your review on the air. This is from someone that is known as Space Bay.
Space Bay is a patron too.
Thank you, Space Bay. We appreciate that, and you. Now, Space Bay goes on to say this is his title is not kid stuff. He says, "I gotta hand it to these guys. When life is hard, listening to this show gives me fast relief."
It's just kid stuff. It's
not kid stuff, man.
Joe, man.
He says it's not kid stuff.
It's not. Come on. It's like playing fucking electronic battleship with the kid down the street.
I need the fast relief. I got a timestamp for fast relief tonight, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Space Bay. It's good to see you are paying attention to Abducted at Plain Sight and the Fast Relief Alka-Seltzer commercials. And it's definitely not kid
fucking
stuff.
movie. Fuck that.
What movie?
They got a movie based off of that. It's on Peacock.
No, it's not a movie. It's a series.
Oh, it's a whole fucking series?
It's like a limited series. It's
Wait,
like
based on Space Bay or based on Bob giving out hand relief?
Bob and hand relief.
Okay.
Yeah, Bob and his.
Yeah, it's like a 4 or 6 show like mini series. I'm not sitting through it either. I told you my mother-in-law did.
That.
There's no way I'm.
Now, wait, Harper, are you going to watch the Teddy Hart documentary?
I just watched the first episode today.
Oh boy, how was it?
He's a fucking lunatic.
Okay.
There's your review.
So we're not treading any new ground.
Yeah. I love how he says he has this like mansion. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a, upper middle class house, but and the whole place is decorated like it's a fucking frat house, where it's nothing but like flags with like like the Cypress Hill flag with the marijuana leaf, and everything is a flag that's got a marijuana leaf on it.
Not kid stuff.
What's that?
It said it's not kid stuff.
Well, I mean, it's just it's like a 20-year-old kid's fucking living there, and he's like 40, and he's got like 500 cats. He raises Persian cats.
Yeah, that's not gonna work for me, brother.
Imagine when you open up the door, the smell probably knock you out your fucking shoes. My God.
I thought he had them like
what? Of pussy?
Of fucking cat shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know they're shitting all over the place and pissing and marking their territory.
I guarantee you he would try to tell you he's potty trained them.
Yeah. And he does this shit called cat juggling. Like fucking
that sounds like PETA needs to get involved.
Let Harper go ahead, Harper.
It's like Steve Martin in The Jerk. Remember the fucking cat juggler?
Yes.
In The Jerk? Yeah. He just throws his cat up and flips it up, and he just catches it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, so the guy tried to get his little reality show on. He's like, I couldn't get it on because he said that was cruelty to animals because of his cat juggling.
Okay. I'm not a cat person, but let's treat the cats with a little bit more respect, Teddy, please. Okay.
And it's like they got one girl on there. I'm like, that girl looks familiar.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
And it's like, oh, okay. I know who that is. I'm friends with her on social media. She lives somewhere around y'all, kind of, sort of.
Oh.
Y'all's area. Yeah.
You're going to have to tell me off air.
I don't know. She's in the business.
No, I know. But if you don't want to say the name, just tell me off air. I'm curious who we're talking about.
I mean, she says her name on the fucking thing, but yeah.
Well, not to turn away from the Teddy Hart documentary. I'll watch it at some point. But I want to give out. There's one more 5-star review. This one is from D Huffman 1980. He says, and this is on Podcast Addict, if you like old school wrestling with crude humor, then this podcast is for you. Book it, bitch. Thank you, D Huffman 1980. I believe he is a patron, if this is the man I'm thinking of. So I get asked often, how can you get a review read on air? So there's two ways. One of them is if you listen on Apple and iTunes, you can leave a 5-star review there. The other way is Podcast Addict, which is an Android app. You can leave a review on there, and it will, as long as it's 5 stars, it will get read on air. So appreciate all the 5-star reviews, and please leave them if you haven't already done so. I mean, we got some people like Chris Zoncha and Chris Cepeda, and geez, I'm trying to think of others. I mean, they've left like 3 or 4 of them. So, hey, man, we appreciate it.
You mentioned T-Hog earlier. That guy's still alive?
You're an asshole. Once again,
Who?
just you're an asshole.
Man, you
One
know
of
he's
our
going to have
longest tenured listeners.
Yeah, you know he's going to have a wonderful time watching his Giants collapse and not even make the playoffs.
Oh, come on. Well, everyone in y'all's division has a winning record, huh?
For now.
I think. Yeah.
I got to tell you. I got to
Early.
tell you about this before we get into the episode. Bruh, I got a problem.
Oh.
And it's I got a Christmas problem.
It's just kid stuff.
Yeah, I need some fast relief for this problem. So let's see if we can't crowdsource this for a second. So this year, instead of Halloween coming on a weekend, if y'all get that Ghetto Boys reference, Christmas Eve, the Cowboys play the Eagles. Kind of a big game, right?
Yeah.
We play at 3:25, Christmas Eve.
Well, that's good, huh?
Until you realize that down at the old church,
Oh, no.
the kids' Christmas musical / play starts at 5.
Well, they can
Yeah, that's
kiss
not going to
your
work
ass.
for me, brother. Jesus is going to have to wait.
Yeah.
Sorry, God. They say he's a forgiving God. You know, that's how I was raised. So, God, you just going to have to forgive me because I ain't going to that damn play, okay?
But my kids are in it.
That's their problem.
That's their problem. I'd Hogan finger wave that. Here's the thing, bro. See, Doc got mad at me because he was like, bro, they shouldn't have the games on Christmas Eve. Bro, you would even be more irate if it was on Christmas Day on Sunday.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
I really wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
Because
my kids are old enough now that they don't have assembly required on everything. So, like,
you say that right now. You say that right now.
I do.
But piss on that Christmas Day game bull crap.
Come on, man. That's Jesus' birthday.
So now
Well,
I'm either
birthday
at
month,
war
but whatever.
with my Cowboy fandom, or I got to go 2 out of 3 falls with Jesus and my kids and my wife.
It's not a hard decision, man. You just Hogan finger wave it and tell Jesus to forgive you and the kids too.
Yeah.
They say he's a forgiving God. I don't understand this.
And fucking, how long is this thing?
It's probably an hour.
Oh, well, that's not too bad.
So what I can't decide is if I'm going to start watching it and push pause and come over and see this play and then come back and push pause.
It's just kid stuff.
Or if I'm gonna record it, expect nobody to tell me while I'm in the sanctuary, and then leave and come back and get rip roaring to pass out drunk.
Yeah,
while I watch
have
it
fun with that.
Why can't we do Christmas morning? Dad's still asleep.
Doc, we're almost 40 minutes into this shit, and you're going to tell me you're blown up in the next 15 minutes.
Well, we got 47-minute episode. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Why don't you do the job that you're supposed to do as the director of the ship, and produce the show, brother?
Well, we're talking
we're here
WCW
on
Saturday
June
Night on
29,
TBS from June the
1991.
29th, 1991. You can shut up. And I don't know where they taped this, to be honest with you, but that's not important. The show
Is
kicks
that little
off.
boy behind JR still alive?
Oh, which one?
Probably not. I'll get to it in a second. The show kicks
Bandana.
off. They show Murdoch and Slater, the hardliners, attacking Rick Steiner. Yes, they're called the hardliners. And then Paul Lee and Jim Ross open the show. And Paul Lee calls Missy a tramp when he gets his hands on her, he's going to ruin her career. Yeah, hey, that's not too nice, is it? So we got to play that little soundbite because I was like, whoa, what do we have here?
Cards.
What card? Oh, we've seen them a few times now, actually. Here, let me go to audio and then we'll talk about that on the other side.
You can get those online these days for cheap.
Yeah, I mean, they're not worth shit. They got a friend of mine, Wes Adams. He used to work for Wildcat. He's got he goes to the flea markets in Mississippi where he sells all that shit.
Well, great. Now Wes gets a free plug on the show.
Well,
that's great.
He used
Way to go, Wes.
He used to work for WWE. He was a ref for a while.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Paul Lee running down Missy here. This is not classy.
Announced that at the Great American Bash pay-per-view, it will be Missy Hyatt and the Steiner brothers against Paul Lee Dangerously, Arn Anderson, and Barry Windham. You were very quiet last week. As a matter of fact, you didn't even make a peep about that match.
I'm not going to lie to you. It's a fact that if I'm hit with a Steiner line, it's going to break both my lungs. If I'm hit with a Frankensteiner, it's going to snap my neck. But Barry Windham and Arn Anderson have assured me that that's not going to happen in the cage. And if I get my hands on that filthy tramp, I'm going to ruin your career because, Missy Hyatt, I hate your filthy, stinking guts.
Well, fans, Missy Hyatt had some pre-recorded comments to make before we go up to Gary Capetta. Let's hear what Missy Hyatt had to say about the Great American Bash.
Well, Mr. Paul E. Dangerously, it has been 1 week since you found out that the Steiner brothers are going to be my partners against you and Arn Anderson and Barry Windham at the Great American Bash in a steel cage. So that means you've had 1 week of shaking in your cheap shoes, wondering, how's it going to feel when they Frankenstein me? How's it going to feel when they Steiner line me? But what you really need to worry about is when you get in there with me, because I'm going to hurt you.
There you go.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Dude, that was one of the best promos that you would see now.
The bar is pretty low nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
But I agree. I agree with you.
Missy wants to make my South rise again. Lord.
Jesus.
You know, I was thinking about this. She's like 3.5 years out from ECW, and she looked a lot different by the time she got to ECW.
Was it the plastic surgery?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask her when we have her on.
Look, she's not coming on here.
You know what's funny, Doc, is she was tweeting about World Class last week because that's the Tales from the Territory was on World Class. So she was like live tweet. I don't want to say live tweeting. She was rewatching the match with her and Tatum and Sunshine and Jesus, his name is slipping me right now, from Reunion Arena.
Sun and
she goes, no. She goes, she says, yeah, and that's my bad implants, talking about her breasts. she said that about her own breast. She's like, yeah, I had some bad implants at that time. God bless you, Missy. We love you. Anyway, so interesting hearing that from Missy Hyatt. That was a pretty damn good promo, though. So give her credit there. Doc, do you have anything else from that one?
No, I thought she was really good there, and good for her.
So, question for you: is Paul
Yes,
Lee
sir.
working stiff?
Is he
on his commentary with her?
I think he's. It feels stiff.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Put it back.
Not
in,
on air, Harper.
Harper.
Put it away. Put it away. It's just kid stuff, but put it away, please. Yeah, I don't. I think nowadays it seems stiffer than it did back then. Like back then, it was like the Wild West. But now you hear it, it's like, damn it, he's kind of being kind of hard on Missy. But he's doing a job. I mean, he's a heel, so there's that. But do you think, Doc, he's being a little bit tough on her or no?
No, I think he's a New York Yankee jerk. That's his job.
The next match after that is the opening match, which is Johnny B. Bad with Teddy Long versus Rick Ryder. Teddy, as he is coming to the ring, says somebody better tell PN News that we're going to knock that big, ugly gorilla out.
Oh.
The commentary during this match is exactly why if you did this today, folks would work themselves into a shoot. I don't have the timestamp, but Paul Lee is making comments about how Johnny B. Bad has acted like this since he was a little girl. And I heard that, and I'm just like, as Johnny B. Bad's about to knock out Rick Ryder and pin him, I just imagined, like, if that was said on AEW or WWE, how the world would flip out on that comment. But, you know, again, different day and a different time, but that was a pretty interesting comment from Paulie. Doc, what did you have from this one?
I figured it out, and I want to be real clear about this. It's not that he's gay. It's the Little Richard part I don't like.
You don't like that Dusty made him a Little Richard, like,
Yeah.
look-alike? I think...
The crowd was pretty dead during this.
Yeah. You can say that again.
But this was probably his best match so far. He did all right in there. This wasn't terrible. And then let me hit you in the back of the head.
Put the little kiss on you.
Yeah.
Bro, he's leaning into it.
Because it's probably like, hey man, what if I give the guy a kiss, you know, when I beat him? They're like, no, that's a little too much. Why don't you just put a sticker on his cheek?
I bet you that's exactly how that went down. Now, are you going to be okay? Are you going to be all right, Harper?
Yeah.
I know this control area gets you upset.
That shit looks stupid.
I would love to see, I know they don't have it, but it would be great if there was footage of Dusty in the back coaching Mark Merrill, Johnny B. Bad, on what he wants him to do with his mannerisms and stuff. Like that would have been gold.
This reminds me like of a shitty George Michael sports machine. Remember that?
I do. Great show.
He would punch up some mysterious button to get some weird highlight up.
Right.
God,
then we're going to northern Canada for some steeplechase. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Bro, that was a great show. Like, if you could stay up and watch it and not fall asleep when you're younger, George Michael Sports Machine was great.
Because I mean, we didn't have cable, so like that was my sports center.
Yeah.
I had to stuff a towel under my door so that if my parents woke up, they wouldn't see the light on in my room while I had my TV on.
All right, what Harper was talking about,
high school too, so that I could watch West Coast. Once I got cable, West Coast like high school, college basketball game.
Yes. Oh my God, dude.
I'd be watching San Diego State and like Arizona State, and I'm like, this is great.
Yes.
Bro, UNLV used to come on at like 10:30.
Right. I used to love it because it'd be like fucking 1:00 and it'd be like UNLV versus fucking New Mexico or something.
Well, and the years that I was in high school playing, you know, big time sports, varsity athletics, was also those years that Loyola Marymount was going nuts.
God, they were fun to watch.
That shit was insane.
Bro, that game, they played LSU, and I think the score was in the 150s or 160s. LSU beat them. I'll never forget that game. It was like a video game, like for 40 minutes straight. You know, a lot of their games were like that. I mean, but yeah, that was fun times.
Hey, are we ready for Morton versus Gibson here at the Bash?
No.
Well, what Harper was talking about, what's pissing him off of like a cheap George Michael sports machine, is we're looking at this Paul Lee Dangerously Great American Bash Control Center where Paul Lee runs down the entire card. They show clips of Elegante and One Man Gang from Superbowl when Sullivan threw powder in Elegante's eyes and the One Man Gang hit Elegante with a stretcher, but Elegante fought back. Man, it was bad. Gibson is taking on Morton. Lots of other stuff. Flair is supposed to take on Luger for the title. More on that later in the show and next week. Wait for that. Other than that, we got an Alka-Seltzer when you got to get relief commercial. Doc, was this the timestamp you had?
10:03.
That was it.
Yeah.
Alka-Seltzer to the rescue.
When you got to get relief. Oh, Bob, it's just kid stuff.
Come on. It's like
We go from there. What did you say, Harper?
it's like collecting baseball cards, but with cum.
Bruh, I just...
There's a dried puddle of cum in each pack of cards.
Yeah.
Bro, he said
Cum
that with a...
tastes funny.
This gum doesn't taste good after a
Oh,
few
God,
years.
come on.
Now, Bob, that's not gum.
Ugh, that's
I hate
disgusting.
that one card that's got the wax on the back of it. Kind of ruins it.
It's like
That's that wax.
it's the herpes card.
What the... No, stop. It's
What?
disgusting.
Come on, grow up.
What the hell's wrong with y'all?
I'm trying.
That is disgusting. That's bad enough we talk about this idiot saying it's kid stuff all the time. And then y'all add in that. Jesus.
Whatever.
PN News, the
Stop
fat
with your-
lady in
stop with your
Walmart.
fake outrage.
That's gross, bruh.
Come
Ugh.
on.
So is
PN
the gum.
News.
Have you ever chewed that?
Shoot
Have I ever
what?
chewed what?
The gum after a few years.
No.
I seen the fucking video of it.
It just turns to like water.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of liquefies when you
Bro,
chew it.
I seen a video on one of those 80s pages. This dude had a box of Batman cereal from when the Michael Keaton movie came out from like 1988.
Oh,
And he fucking opened it and he fucking ate it, bro. He's just like, oh God, this is the worst shit ever. I'm like, dude, you got to get your fucking stomach pumped. Eating fucking over 30-year-old fucking cereal?
yeah.
You know that shit probably was tasted bad when it came out. Now
Yeah,
imagine
That's
it's
another
spoiled.
problem.
All right.
Bump there
So
for
we
Dave
go
Johnson.
to PN News, the fat lady in Walmart, as Harper calls him, versus Dave Johnson. News is out there rapping with no rhythm. It continues to be just glorious. I love it. We do get a picture-in-picture from Johnny B. Bad and Teddy Long. Johnny says, "It's going to be a blessing to teach you a lesson, you big old bear." It's exactly what he said. I don't know how my imitation was. Anyway, Doc, what you got from...
Can you give me
Let's see that thing.
1140?
Oh, there you go.
Let me go
How
back.
was that not a finish?
Remember when we had Stanfield? Well, now we have this.
Oh, yeah. Look, he's wiggling. And he does it again. Look at him.
With your big, heavy D-looking ass.
Jesus Christ.
The overweight lover.
Yeah.
I think he does something else too, Doc. When
Yeah.
doesn't Johnson take the tackle and then he wiggles?
But I
it
don't
again or
want
something?
you doing your jiggle with my head pointing down, staring at it.
Here it comes. Look
Look at
here
that
it is.
extra bump.
Jesus Lord. Yo baby, yo. He's getting blown up already.
He
Anyway,
is. He's tired. And I thought they were clunky here in this match because he got tired.
yeah, he can't go at all. He gets blown up when he starts pumping the fist.
He's like the girl at Walmart that looks like him that gets blown up by the time she's at the chips aisle.
Yeah, she's like, fuck, I should have got one of those fucking motor scooters. But they're all taken.
Y'all making fun of them people, man. I see people in Walmart and Target pushing the basket, and they are blown up, leaning on the basket, pushing it.
Well, whose fucking fault is that?
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for you.
I'm not saying whose fault it is. I'm just like, man, that's when you know it's going bad for you.
But the majority of those people aren't people who like got their legs fucking amputated in those fucking motorized fucking scooters, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's not a fucking 80-year-old man who can barely walk with a cane.
Look, if you got legitimate health issues, there's nobody on this show that would poke at you. But if you think Little Debbie is the fourth food group, then fuck you.
Yeah.
How about that?
Right.
Jesus.
Those little Christmas trees? Fucking right, bro.
Harper, I know in the past Harper's always said that about the little Christmas trees. He likes
He's got
those
more.
suckers.
He's got more words.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we do get PN Pia News rapping after his match, and he's blown up trying to rap. And Paul Lee makes fun of his rap and has his own rap for News.
God, look at that fraud.
Yeah, you can say that again. All right, Doc. Well, we'll keep the show moving. They show the ad for the WCW baseball cards again, and then we go to Nikita Koloff, and it's a promo. I'm not going to play it because it's broken up into like multiple segments that are real quick. So I'll summarize it. Nikita says Sting was in the wrong place at the wrong time. We then see a replay from Superbowl when Nikita snuck Sting. Nikita then says Sting tried to show. Nikita says, I tried to show Sting that he wasn't a man, and Sting tried to come after Nikita, and Nikita got on his ass after that. He beating him down. And then Nikita explains why he came after Sting when Sting had that kid at the most recent Clash, which, by the way, I've heard from multiple people, so I don't know what to believe, but apparently that kid was either Sullivan's son or his nephew. It's funny because, like, multiple people, as in probably 50 of them, have reached out to me to tell me that. And I'm like, well, I don't know, because was it the son or the nephew? So there you go. You got a shout out if you sent me that.
So that was Kevin Sullivan's relative.
That's what I was told.
So we're bringing the relatives in, and they can't take a bump. Man, Nikita should have punked that kid out. Be a heel. Throw a fire paper at him.
He was a kid. I
Throw
don't
a fireball
think that
at
would
his ass.
be allowed, but whatever. So then it all ends up wrapping up with Nikita here in that Nikita closes things out, telling Sting that he's got a message for Sting and all of his little stingers. And he says, I don't care about winning the match we have. I want to hurt you. Well, I don't know. That's how heels do it. They want to hurt you. They're not necessarily interested in always winning. Doc, any other thoughts from this summary of like 4 to 5 minutes as this went on and they showed various clips?
I think Nikita should just be as big of a monster heel as he possibly can. I mean, he's trying to get a personal issue with Sting, beat up a kid, stick it in their the kid's mom's face, beat Sting's ass. Let's be a heel.
You are an idiot.
They took away his Russian heritage already.
Yeah, he's from Lithuania now.
But he still does the Russian sickle.
Shut up.
It's the Lithuanian liner.
Bro.
I wonder why they changed that.
Bro, you know 99% of the people watching this back then thought that was the same country.
Yeah, they don't fucking know, bro.
Russia, Lithuania. It's like the people who, like with the New Zealand sheep herders in Australia. It's like they just assume that's
why do we hate New Zealand? That seems like a pretty fun place.
Yeah. Go figure.
If it wasn't on the other side of the earth, I'd go visit.
Yeah, I ain't getting on a plane that long. That ain't happening, brother. That don't work for me.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. I hate airplanes. I hate airports and everything associated with it. Fuck that shit.
This is so funny because Doc and I hate flying and you hate flying.
Everyone, bro. Remember like when you were a kid to fly, that was a big deal?
No.
No? I mean, nowadays fucking everyone flies on a goddamn fucking plane. It's like
I didn't get on an airplane until I was almost 27 years old.
That's what I'm saying.
I flew once when I was like 12, and then after that, I never flew again until I started traveling for work. So I was like in my mid-20s, and I hated flying.
West from to here, but yeah, dude, flying sucks, dude. Airports, bruh. You're sitting there like an asshole with your fucking bags, and I remember one time we were in fucking New York after a fucking Wildcat show, and they kept delaying it. And we were like, bro, they're gonna fucking delay it again. Let's go by the fucking bar. It was me, Buku, Dow, and Matta sitting there, and we see like everyone's gone. We're like, wait a minute. We just missed our fucking flight. And we were fucking stuck. Fucking suck, dude. Man, wait
Why am-
till the next
You mean
fucking day.
you didn't hear the announcement where they go, light now boarding.
Yeah, for real.
American This is the last call.
I never heard this story. I'm shocked.
Yeah. That's
You
who we
hitchhiked
saw.
back?
What is his name? Coming off the plane. A Reverend, what's the black dude? Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpton? Al Sharpton?
Sharpton.
Yeah, whatever the fuck. Yeah. We saw him getting off the plane.
Was he with Ken Pantera?
Kim Pantera. That got a lot of traction on social media. He's laughing. It was not done on purpose. I promise you.
Hey, Harper, did you hear the news?
Yeah. Pantera and fucking Metallica going on tour. So
yeah,
much tickets are?
Metallica's doing 2 nights. Different set list each night.
They're doing two. What you mean? There's only 2 shows?
No, they're doing 2 shows in the town.
Oh.
Different set list. Completely different set list each night.
That's cool. But the tickets is something crazy, bro. Like the cheap ones are like $500-$600, bro.
Oh, fuck
you,
that then.
dude.
I'll watch
Yeah.
it on YouTube.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. I saw Priest for fucking like $50.
I saw Metallica for $50 and Faith No More and Guns N' Roses was with them.
Fuck, I saw him for like about $40 in Biloxi.
Yeah, but you were in Biloxi.
Yeah, it was them and what's the Corrosion of Conformity?
Corrosion of Conformity? I like them.
Yeah, they opened up for him.
Yeah.
Then I saw him with Godsmack like I don't know, like 20 years ago.
You ever seen Metallica there, Mike?
Who?
What?
Who?
Metallica, that tour they had Jodeci open up for
What is a Metallica?
them.
It's Metallica. That's fucking metallic.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Sounds boring. They come back from commercial after y'all were sitting there talking about the most boring stuff ever with Metallica and whoever these bands are. Jesus Lord. They come back from commercial and JR breaks the news that Steve Austin, Stunning Steve, is the new TV champion. And then they show Lady Blossom getting involved in the match and Austin winning the TV title. The match took place, if my records are correct, on June the 4th of 1991. And the reason I point out that date specifically is because Austin debuted on May 13th. So just, 3 weeks in, basically? He's already TV champ, and I got to say, man, the shoe fits. So just a handful of matches before they put the TV title on him. And you might ask, why did they switch the title on a non-TV taping? Well, in actuality, according to my records and the history of WWE.com, that was on Worldwide that the taping took place. So they did show it on television. It was aired and taped for TV. I also looked it up. They actually did the same exact match and same finish the night before on June 3rd. But the reason they didn't, they did it again on the 4th is because the first time Nick Patrick saw Lady Blossom get involved and they were like, wait, we can't air this title switch like this because I saw Lady Blossom cheat for Austin. So they basically redid the same match the very next night. Now, you'd never know that nowadays because that original match wasn't aired, but it came out after the fact once people realized, wait, they did that same match twice. So there's that. Austin is your new TV champion, though, as we roll into the next match. Doc, anything about Austin winning the TV title?
I mean, we give a lot of problems to those folks, for doing things and not doing things on the booking. But I think, hey, they realized they had something there with him, and unfortunate that it comes with Bobby having to lose the belt. But I think it's the right call.
Yeah, you hate to see Bobby being the one who had to lose it, but
Yeah.
I mean, again, we know what Austin becomes, but I'm sorry, dude. You can see it. There's something here. He's got a presence.
He's got something, and you can. It's easy to say Monday morning quarterback, but he's got it.
Yeah.
Well, and he's also the good thing here in not sticking with something is that they've upgraded his valet here.
Dude, that chick, she can give Missy a run for money.
Slow down.
I mean, she was something back then, man.
Yeah.
But she ain't Missy. Now, y'all just stop that right now.
I just said she can give her a run for money.
No.
No?
Missy, bruh.
I mean, she can give Missy a run for her money. She ain't Missy, but she can give her a run for her money.
That's what I'm saying. Missy's going to win 27-24.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, you don't apologize for winning in the NFL.
That's right.
I mean,
wins are hard to come by.
Got that right. Steve Austin takes on Ricky Nelson as a picture-in-picture from Eaton. Bobby Eaton tells us he's not crying over spilled milk, and he's going to do what he needs to do to get his belt back. And this match doesn't go on long. Austin hits that stun gun finisher, which is like a twisting, hot shot type maneuver that Eddie Gilbert used to do, and he wins by pin. Doc, any other thoughts on Austin looking real good here in his first title defense?
Eaton is Eaton the fastest slow talker ever or the slowest fast talker ever?
I don't know, but it's glorious because he's so lovable that you just kind of like chuckle when he cuts those promos like that. And Doc, you asked, I think the last time we recorded, if that was the last Desperados segment. And
it needed to be.
This looks like a Bullseye barbecue sauce commercial.
So, I don't want to play... Doc, maybe I should play the audio from this one because it's so bad.
Can you?
Harper missed the last one that was like 8 minutes long. And I feel like he needs to see just how... Now, Harper, what you don't realize is the last show we did, the Desperado segment went off the rails. It was so stupid. It was bullshit. And they continue it. And I think this might be the last one, Doc. But they're sitting around the campfire. This is Dutch Mantel, Deadeye Dick, who is Randy Colley, and Black Bart. Bart is on the left, Harper on the video. Dutch is on the right. Deadeye Dick, as they call him, is in the middle.
Black Bart from like the first Starcade?
Black Bart from World Class. Yeah, Black Bart. All right, so here, I'm going to play it. I don't know if there's any music overlaying into it. I can't remember, so it may get edited out the YouTube version, but here it is.
Bart, are you tired?
Partner, I'm dog tired.
I'm so plumb tuckered out I can't even see straight. But I'm so dadgum glad I got out of that jail. But the time I said, I want you to listen to this. The time
Dutch
I
is
was
in the middle,
sitting in that jail, I did a lot of thinking. The time we sit in that jail could have been the time we could have been looking for Stan Hansen. I know he was in this town. I could feel him, Bart. I could feel him right here.
I had a feeling. And another thing. Now we got to get our sights set. Just a little bit further down the line, they got this thing coming up called the Great American Bang.
That's right.
And it's real important to them folks down there. And it's real important to old Black Bart. And I know it's important to you. We ought not be laying around in no dead dumb jail.
We need to make our lives useful instead of sitting in jail like common horse thieves. And why was we in jail in the first place? If he wasn't such good friends with Stan Hansen, I'd vote to ditch him. Because, hey, he can't hear.
Can't hear a lick.
Boom!
And hey! Some more of them beans up there now.
And he probably can't even cook. Give me some of them beans.
They're a little runny. They're a little runny, Dutch. I'll tell you right now.
Come on.
Do you smell that aroma? That is the foulest dead.
I sure do, and it ain't coming from these beans. You no good.
Break it, cowboys. What's wrong with you?
Here and out of stardom.
I think that might be the last one, Doc, and I'm hoping so.
Well,
I think somebody took a dump in their pants.
Dead gum.
I waited for him to say New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This ain't paste pecani sauce. This stuff was made in New York City. Get a rope. Doc, that one wasn't nowhere near as stupid or dumb as the last one.
And it was awful.
It was awful.
As Dutch said to you, dead on arrival.
God.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I did tweet Dutch about it. And Dutch, who follows me, thank you, Dutch. Appreciate it. He responded rather quickly and said the gimmick was dead on arrival. And he was very short on words, and I understand why, because it definitely is dumb. So got a response from Dutch. Harper just said, oh, wow, because of what I'm about to play. Might get edited out the YouTube version, but PN News is rapping, and it's a rap about the Great American Bash. Go ahead, Doc. What you about to say?
Nothing.
Here it is. It's like 30 seconds maybe at the most.
On July 14th, see the WCW crew. It's the Bash 91 on pay-per-view. Word up, Nikita Koloff will be taken on stage. They is gonna bust a move all over the ring. Now the Nature Boy, you know his name is Ric Flair, is gonna walk that aisle. Let's it better beware. It's the Great American Bash. You had better be there.
Oof. Doc?
Well, that's bad.
So that's rap music, huh?
Yeah. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
Boy, that was bad, man. I think it speaks for itself. I don't know what else I can add. You got anything, Doc? He's promoting the Bash.
Poorly.
Yeah.
Well, what do you expect? Oh man!
That was bad. Those girls.
That was back when advertisers thought we need to cash in on this hippity hop thing.
Those girls were like the Fly Girls from fucking In Living Color.
What did the Fly Girls used to do for you back in the day, Mike?
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, they weren't. You're trying to be funny, but it's not like they were all black.
No, fucking J-Lo was one.
J-Lo was one.
That's what I'm saying. They had a nice mixture in there.
Yeah.
They was all the way live, man. I mean,
every goddamn one of them, man.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, huh, Harper?
Uh-huh.
Well, look at all this talent in the ring.
Yeah, let's go to this next match. We got the Diamond Stud and Ric Flair versus the Yellow Dog and Bobby Eaton. Paul Lee says that he knows who the Yellow Dog is. Paul Lee says that's Brian Pillman.
God.
He claims he knows this because he can smell Pillman when he goes into the locker room. This eats up most of the episode that we got left. Doc, I kind of think I summarized and said the main thing that went on here, but there's also something else significant. But let me go to you. What do you have from this?
Well, let's take, good-looking, charismatic baby face and cover him from head to toe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's give him a goofy. Let's give him a goofy get up and a very generic name. Yellow Dog.
Yellow Dog.
Well, they kind of booked themselves into a corner though when they had to get rid of somebody.
Yeah, why'd they do that? That was dumb.
Yeah.
Who'd they get rid of?
It was El Gigante and Pillman versus Wyndham and Arn. And the Eater of the Pen had to leave WCW.
Oh, God. So Pillman took the fall?
Yeah, Pillman ate the pin.
Oh, God.
Yep. And
so he's doing the Stagger Lee thing?
Yeah, if you want to call it that, but that would be an insult to Stagger Lee. Like, as I think about it. I mean, it really kind of is an insult to Stagger Lee. Oh, boy. Yellow Dog. I mean, you can look at it and see it's Pillman, but...
No, it's not.
Okay.
That's one of the Mulkeys.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Razor looks like $1 million in this match.
Oh, Callaway, what you talking about, Harper? One of the best gimmicks ever. Why you call him Razor? You don't even know him. You went to high school with him? Oh, boy.
You like that coat or that jacket that DDP's got on outside?
But he looks like
a
he's...
Zebra Zubaz.
Yeah.
What a train wreck.
Yeah, this is bad.
Doc, you said something to me earlier about this being Flair's last match here, but it's really not. My last on Saturday night.
Right. This is our last encounter with Rick.
Gotcha. Yeah, he actually...
So we got to do this for the next 2 years, Harper, without Ric Flair.
Great.
Yeah, super duper. Where do I sign?
Yeah. Who's the replacement? Oh, there isn't any. Great.
Bro, imagine, bro. You can litigate Flair all day long and who he is outside the ring and all that stuff, but imagine being Jim Herd and getting rid of one of the best pro wrestlers
ever do it.
Yeah, right. It's so stupid.
And
there's no plan to who's the replacement.
He's worth more if you just send him home for 6 months, which you probably don't want to do that because Lord knows what he gets into. But he's worth more if you just send him home and pay him a few million.
Because while you think he's done, he's about to go up north and have one of the greatest matches that he's ever had in the 92 Rumble.
Yes.
It's so bad. It's so bad that this man got rid of Flair.
With no replacement. That's what I don't get. It's like when Hogan left, they the Warrior's going to fill the spot in. Now we know his fucking Warrior was only hot for a year or two. That had to call Hogan back, but there was a plan. This is no plan.
Right.
Fuck it, Flair, get the fuck out of here.
Right. At least they had something, you know.
And we're going to see, because, look, I don't know. I can't answer what I'm about to ask, because I do not know. But do the fans really want to boo Lex Luger right now? Because he's the guy that's going to move into Flair's spot.
Mm-mm.
And they have
they will as the ball rolls with Lex a few months down the line, and kind of what they do and who he aligns himself with, and they do, but it takes, to me, one of the underrated baby faces right now during this time, which is Ron Simmons.
So here's
it's going to take him.
Here's a question. Who is, when Rick leaves, the day Rick leaves and says, I quit, who is the top heel singles?
Oh, is it Diamond Stud, huh?
No, that's a hard one because.
Do you consider Double A?
Yeah, but
tag team with Wyndham.
Yeah,
and then he's going to be tagging with somebody else later on down the line in the year.
Is it Austin?
So, no, you can't. Right at this moment, I don't think you can say that. I think right now,
Nikita.
That's true.
I still think you got to say. I still think you got to say Arn, because yes, he's aligned with Barry, but it's not like they're like tag champs or whatever right at this exact moment. Like I still think you got to say Arn, but the thing with Arn is he does still tag a lot, and he ends up in a legitimate tag team in a few months. So I think you got to say Arn.
The problem with saying Arn as your individual is now you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, because you're also now depriving a good tag team of Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
Well, which goes back to Harper's point. You didn't have a plan.
That's what I'm saying. I'm circling back to Harper's point.
It's like those people that kept screaming when fucking Drew Brees started to show his age. Like, we need to get rid of him. Okay, that's fine. Who's the replacement that you're going to bring in that's going to do as well as him or fucking better?
Because you could find an Andy Dalton every year.
Right.
Yeah, they're dime a dozen. They all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Or as my kid said about things before he was born, he goes, "Where was Andy Dalton before he was here?" And I said, he was in Cincinnati. He goes, "Oh, that must be why they sucked."
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
there's a whole host of guys that can get you to mediocrity.
Yeah.
Harper nailed it. They don't have a replacement, man. They don't have anybody. Doc, anything else before I go to wrapping up this tag match?
Wrap it up.
So the Yellow Dog is getting on Flair, and he hits Flair with a crossbody. Yellow Dog has Flair pinned, but the Diamond Stud breaks it up. Bobby and the Diamond Stud end up on the outside. Stud and Flair then are in the ring, and they're trying to take the mask off the Yellow Dog, but they can't. Bobby comes in, he clears the ring, and all the excitement, the ref, who's not Nick Patrick, I forget the guy's name, he gets bumped. JR then tells us, maybe that is Nick Patrick, now I'm looking at it. JR says it's a DQ, and he didn't say who the DQ was on or if it was a double DQ. So, yeah, there's that. Let's just call it a DQ. We don't know if it's a double DQ or not. Kind of an uneventful finish as they try to rip off. Yeah, I actually kind of see it. They're trying to. I understand what they were trying to do. Let's rip his mask off to show the people who he is. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of falls flat though too. Doc, any thoughts on the finish?
I'm sad now.
Flair's leaving. Oh, just wait till next week when we get there.
I told you years ago when this happened that the show was over.
Well, it's not happening.
Book it, bitch.
So we then that match ends, and we're going to go now to the next match, which is the last match on the card or the show, which is Lex Luger versus Doug Vines.
What the fuck?
What?
Why are they having this match?
Well, you got to fill up the TV with something.
Why wasn't this before the other one?
Well, everything was airtight, brother.
Oh, fuck.
Everything was airtight, man. We didn't do none of that stuff, man. Everything was airtight, brother. God, I wish I could remember where I heard Tully Blanchard say that. But we'll keep moving. So Luger defeats.
We had a reason for everything on the card, and we're building to a finish here. Oh, okay.
Everything. Bro. We look at things through rose-colored glasses all the time when it comes to our childhood. When in reality, the 80s was a dangerous place. But let me tell you, these old-timers, they really see things through rose-colored glasses.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Today is the best day in the history of the world to be alive. Now, it could all end tomorrow, but we're going to go out on top.
And it's not to say that today doesn't have problems, because there are plenty of problems, but
today is riddled with
riddled. Hey, buddy. All right, so Luger wins. This doesn't go on long. He hits Vines with a power slam and then the torture rack, and that's that. Doc, any other thoughts on this one?
No, this was good and what it needed to be.
Yep, I agree. So after the match,
look how witty he is. Look,
he's dry there.
He's dry.
Okay,
and then wait, what happened? It's a metamorphosis.
So he's bone dry as the match ends. Not bone dry, but he's pretty dry.
God damn.
And then when we go to the promo, which I am going to play here, Harper if you remember years ago, Harper was mesmerized by Sweaty Luger in the audience. I mean, I even clipped it and put it on YouTube because we went on and on for like 5, 6, 7 minutes about Luger just sweating. And I had everybody under the sun telling me, well, don't you know what it's like to be under those hot lights? I'm like, bruh, he wasn't even wrestling. He just walked out there and started sweating bullets inside of a minute. Anyway, so he's not under hot lights here. He's just finishing off his match and he's sweating. And he looks like he just got out of the swimming pool. Let's go to it, and then we can talk about it on the other side. Luger's cutting a promo after his match.
Counting the day. July 14th is the target date. Inside a steel cage, the heavyweight championship of the world will be decided. I know your training has intensified. You're more focused, I understand, on this match than any in your career.
Ric Flair, it's like the first time around, the total package, Lex Luger, the Great American Bash, 1991 World's Heavyweight title. This time around, it is total package time because Nature Boy, this time around, you are going to be dominated like you have never been dominated before because these chances come around only so often, Nature Boy. And this time, Nature Boy, I didn't get it because I'm U.S. title holder or anything else. I earned this shot when I beat the Great Muta. And baby, when I stepped through those ropes and the Great American Bash in Baltimore in a steel cage, you're going to be all mine, baby. It's this time around, it's Luger time, the total package.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our thanks to
I mean, that was a pretty good promo leading up to what was supposed to be a match that they had. Doc, thoughts?
I don't know. I think we're done with this whole show now.
Someone give that guy a towel.
Man. Bro, he was barely he's drenched. He's glistening right here.
It almost made me think maybe he put some oil before he went out because he does. But then I see him wiping his sweat from his eyes, so you know it's sweat.
I actually think I know what happens here. So you've been exercising before, maybe jogging, walking fast, whatever.
Come on,
and
how many of these people listen to this? You think?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen Zoncha.
Come on, these people don't engage in any sort of physical activity.
Well, and you're exercising. And
YouTube it. If you don't know, if you don't do it, YouTube it, like jogging or something. You'll get a visual.
And so then you stop. Like I can actually see right here how you would, because that happens to me. Like I'm outside exercising and I'm not sweating too bad, and then I stop, like just stop moving, and all of a sudden, like I'm just drenched. Like I can see that. There's an explanation, I think, for what you see here. Dr. Blassie can chime in and tell me, but there's an explanation for what you see here. What there's not an explanation for is when he walked out onto the studio at Techwood, hadn't wrestled, he just walks out, is talking to Tony Schiavone, and inside of 30 seconds, he went from bone dry to glistening. Now, I know those lights are hot. But damn, that was very weird.
He's the only one you see sweating, bro.
That's the other side of it.
Tony Schiavone's wearing a fucking suit, bro. And you don't see him fucking sweating like that.
Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
Arn would sweat because there's the meme where Arn looks angry.
Cutting the grass or whatever.
Yeah, he's cutting the grass, or he looks angry and he's dripping wet, and in the caption says something like, when your buddies say they want to sit on the patio, and it's like he's just sweating bricks. I'm with it. I can't sit on no patio, man. But and eat, not during the summer at least. But I think there's a explanation for this. But on the promo, I thought Luger was good here. We're just not going to see this match. That's the hard part. You know what's coming. And there's that, which kind of sucks because if you think about it, Doc, he held his own against Flair in those big matches.
He had a good run, better than I remember.
And he could have beat Flair here, and you would have believed it.
Can't can't say.
Okay,
You
of
don't
course,
know.
You're not going to give him credit, I know. So anyway, we need to rate this show, hand out some Rolexes. Before we do so, want to remind you, we do have the Great American Bash coming up, and Doc and I have put together tons of Tales from the Territories episodes. We've got the only one we didn't do, which I did with Lance, was the world-class one. So stay tuned.
Yeah,
Doc may discuss it with
that
me.
asshole had to piggyback on y'all's success. What an asshole.
I hate that you say that because people take this serious.
He hitched his wagon to our star.
That's right. You SMU Mustang shithead.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, Lance.
So become a patron at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. That is now 8 episodes of Tales from the Territories that you can get access to of us reviewing. Also, all of our Clash of the Champions, reviewing the first 15 of those, and the WCW pay-per-views through this moment in 1991. And as you know, the Great American Bash is coming up, so we will be doing that one in this month as well. So tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT is the only place you can listen to all of that exclusive Patreon content. Doc, let's rate it.
Other than sending Bob out to your house for some fast relief,
God.
this is the best deal running to be a patron.
It's inflation proof, which doesn't help BTT out at all.
No, I saw you throw an extra free month on the thing.
Yeah, I did that for
like giving shit away.
I know. How about you, before you start giving them extra free shit, you give Harper and I something.
They say there's 2 things that are inflation. Oh, God.
Our
recession
thing?
proof, right. The entertainment business and our thing.
Yeah.
Well, we are the entertainment business.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The right ear catches the 3 of us, we'd be sitting on the moon right now with success.
There's no oxygen on the moon.
Well, maybe not the moon.
Can I stay home? I don't like to fly. We established that earlier.
That's
I think all
true.
the ears have heard us.
All of them?
All the ears worth fucking listening to.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
All right, Harper. Rate it. I'm sorry, Doc. Let's rate it. What are you giving it? I got a B plus.
47 minutes.
Yep, B plus right there, just because of that.
Right. That's a B right there.
That sure is.
That's where I'm going, because I'm going with a B.
Okay, Harper, what you gonna give it?
That's a B.
I'm going B plus. I think y'all being hard on it. Okay, so we need to give out the Rolex, and because we're not gonna see him for several years, I don't know how I don't give it to Flair. So, Rick, thank you for all you've done. These from 85 until now, as we've covered this. It's been a great run. Guess we'll see you in a couple years, and we're going to give you the Rolex as you head on out the door. No thanks to Jim Hurd.
I'm reminded of like that Christmas show in like 86, I think, where
85.
He and Garvin beat the living shit out of each other in the studio.
Yeah, yeah. Let's clarify. When you say Christmas show, you're talking about the week of Christmas that aired that year, and
yeah,
we talked about it ad nauseum. How it's like he didn't want to go home for the holidays. He just was like, "No, this is what I love." And
yeah.
he was actually
wait a minute.
Fool.
Y'all don't have me on the run sheet,
right?
Hey, champ, we thought we'd give you a day off. You know, you could get out of here and get home.
Nah, fuck those kids.
Nah.
Nah, I don't need to go home.
I'm wrestling Garvin tonight. How about that?
Okay, go ahead, Doc. Continue. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm good, man. Rick, we're gonna miss you. It's the 2 years you're gone is gonna be like watching an endless loop of your last match.
It sucks because, like, I mean, Arn was only gone for a little over a year,
and that sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we loved, like, oh God, thank God he's back. There is some talent here, though. It's just it ain't Ric Flair, and like Harper said, they didn't have a replacement. It was just dumb. Okay, Harper, who are you giving your Rolex to?
I give mine a Lexus sweat glands. Yeah, fucking Jim Ross stands by him about 10 minutes more. He's gonna need a fucking life preserver.
How do you put a Rolex on a sweat gland?
I don't know. I mean, look at that.
I think it's all those steroids in his body that have it like trying to cool it down.
I don't know. Harper was telling me this story one time, and he was, getting his groove on, and it wasn't, the AC was broken in the room or something, and he was like, bro, I was just dripping. I was pouring sweat as I was dripping up my zing and dropping my pipe down.
That's nice.
You ever been getting it so good you start sweating like that?
Yeah.
Grow up. Man, if you stuck with us this long at this point and still listening to this show, God bless you. All right. On that particular note, before we get out of here, I do need to remind you all, Harper, it's the Christmas season, and he is still doing video shout-outs, life advice, relationship advice. You want him to send an audio Christmas card to someone or a Hanukkah card or whatever,
Kwanzaa.
You celebrate. Kwanzaa. You just email Chris Harper, and he will create a video shouting you out or a family member or cutting a promo on them and tell them to have a pissy Christmas, whatever it is. Email him, chrisharper16, wildcat with a K @gmail.com, and then make sure you PayPal him $20 to cc30388cc@yahoo.com. If you missed any of that, look in the show description. Harper's email and his PayPal address is there, and you should be able to get a video from him. Make sure you get that in, because nobody can wish you a Merry Christmas like Mr. Circle.
That's right.
Email Harper and get that done. Check out our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast with Joe Murata and Michael Quinn. The northern version of BTT, slightly classier, definitely more professional, but still fun nonetheless. They support us. Please support them. Check them out. And check out the Bottom Line Cast with Mike Prue and JV. Mike Prue and JV do our ECW show on the Patreon feed, but they also do a show on the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin, as we're into the Austin era now as well. So check them out, the Bottom Line Cast. Doc, PN News Jr. and I were like talking through DM a few weeks back. He called this era, because, he's there and Austin's there, the golden era.
Maybe the golden shower era.
Come on.
Jesus Christ, what the piss. Come on.
Exactly.
Bro. Grow up. All right, Doc, anything else? Did I miss anything before we get out of here?
I think we've proven that we can find the good in almost anything except Jim Herd. And I would say he will be here next week on the show, not our show, but that show that we review, to explain his actions.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe we should wait till next Tuesday to do that one, Doc, so Harper can be there.
Okay.
Now that I think about that, since Harper can, because I just see Harper as like looking at Jim Herd and just throwing just shit at him, just beating him up to no end.
All right, we'll do that.
Doc, believe it or not, this show drops on Thursday night, December the 8th. We are 2 weeks and just a couple of days away from Christmas.
Great.
Awesome.
So
I'm not a child, so I mean, I like Christmas. Don't get me wrong, I like it.
Hey, bro,
Christmas
can
tree.
you imagine?
At this point, by the time you listen to this, my Christmas tree will have been up for 5 weeks.
Can you imagine being married to, or being having a girlfriend whose birthday is Christmas Day?
I know. I used to date a chick like that. Her birthday was fucking Christmas.
It's actually pretty good. You can knock it all out on one day. It's not.
I don't know.
No.
No.
It's not the volume. It's that I gotta fucking fire up the train again in 2 months for fucking Valentine's Day, and then fire it up again for a birthday. Let's knock a couple of these birds out with one stone.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
It's a double header.
I got enough money now that I can just buy my way out of it. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, say that again. What'd you just say?
I got enough money now that I can just buy my way out of it.
God bless you. Jesus. All right. Well,
here's what you got to know. If you're lucky enough out there to have you abroad, or you are abroad, I'm getting ready to talk about you. Everything that happens in the world, your broad thinks her first thought is, how does this impact me?
All right.
Hey, did you hear that there's a volcano erupting in Hawaii?
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, what if I wanted to go? She's thinking, well, what if I wanted to go to Hawaii?
Well, then I guess we're going to Pensacola.
Well, see, that's just great. Thanks
That's
a lot.
a heck of a
Thanks a lot,
second
volcano.
option. Right. All of a sudden, that's the worst thing on the planet that could have ever happened to them because a volcano is erupting in Hawaii, and now they can't go, even though they had no plans of going within the next
Am I
number of
wrong
years.
about that, Mike?
There's a lot of truth to that. It's like something random, and they're just like, oh, man. It's like, what?
Like, we're all sitting there thinking, man, that's messed up. I hope the poor people of Hawaii are okay, that they take the proper precautions. And meanwhile, you got tea sucking going on about an imaginary trip in their head that they ain't going to be able to take now.
Bro, you preaching right now.
Well,
I said during
the preacher's tired, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, it's late. If you got nothing else, Doc, we'll get out of here. And Harper, hit that tagline, Bubba, and we will roll.
Fuck it, bitch.